back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Alright, full-time family, before we get started, I want to ask you guys for your input on one thing and one thing only. Alright, the new format with me on the camera in the bottom right corner, some people love it, some people not so much. Some people say it was more interesting before the camera was on there, and I honestly don't mind. I just got this fucking new computer, and to be perfectly honest, the only way I can do news on it is this way right now. So even if I do transition to taking the camera off of the news, it's going to be after I get the video editing software on this new computer, which I don't have right now, and I can't get right now. But as soon as I get that, it's going to be back to normal anyway. And as far as the mic is concerned, the audio, my new mic's having trouble connecting to this mic, but we're getting all of that taken care of. Technical difficulties, just got this joint. But I do want to know, on the news topics, would you guys rather the camera be off? Which, honestly, if it were up to me, that's the way I kind of liked it. But I also seen my boy MMA from the Heartland say he thinks we might have changed the game with this format, and that, like, you know, nobody's doing news like this, which is fine with me too. You know, if y'all thought it was super dope, I'll keep doing it this way. But there's also been a couple of people that said that they liked it better without the camera. Now, as far as the camera's concerned, I'll still be using it if I do take it off of news for like the reactions or the fucking like video calls. But I mean, that's a little too much me on every video. So I might take it off anyways, but that's why I'm looking for your input. If there's a lot more people that like it than don't like it, then I'll keep it like this. But it is what it is. I really don't give a fuck either which way. We're just going to keep doing this every single day regardless. With that being said, one more thing before we get into this news topic. There was somebody, one of the critics of the camera, that was like, yo, fucking, I don't like this channel anymore. You did a video on the girl that had a crack addiction. You're fucking both drug addicts. Fuck you. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. If you consider weed a drug, you goddamn right I'm a motherfucking drug. Just for you, boy. I wasn't even going to do this. This is just for you. Fuck you, tell me, where you at, full-time family? You don't take that shit to another motherfucking channel, boy. Think I give a fuck about what you're talking about? Now, on a side note, I plan on a personal level, my motherfucking New Year's resolution coming up in a few days is to quit smoking, but it ain't got nothing to do with you, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this because this is what I do. Before the channel, this is what I did. After the channel, whenever I get my shit right, it's probably what I'm going to keep doing, bro. It is what it is. Motherfucking with that being said, let's get to this topic, though. Haters eat a dick. I do want legitimate input on the fucking camera thing, though. But the rest of that, man, I ain't worried about Nair and Hater. As far as I'm concerned, we already fucking made it, bro. Fucking $500 a month in ad revenue. We interviewed Sean O'Malley. I mean, I don't need to go nowhere else, even though it probably will, because there's probably going to be more people that subscribe than unsubscribe, like you fucking dipshit. I don't care, bro. Everybody could. It's all good. With that being said, let's get to this disgruntled UFC fighter whose name is Oluwale Bamgbose. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that last name right. But he announced that he's left the UFC, or he was cut from the UFC, and on his way out the door, he cussed out Dana White. Have y'all ever saw that movie Waiting, where they're like, where a dude gets fired from the restaurant and he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. That shit was hilarious. That's what this reminded me of. You get fired or you quit and you're like, man, fuck everybody. I didn't like this bitch anyway. Oluwale Bamgbose, he motherfucking took to Twitter after he realized, or I don't know if he found out, when he found out, or if he quit. I'm sure he didn't quit, or he wouldn't have been disgruntled. I think he got cut. So this is what he had to say in his first tweet. And this is the first tweet I read. This was like, okay, this shit's hilarious. He said, so it's official. I'm no longer a part of the UFC organization. Not gonna lie, I fell out of love for it for obvious reasons. One being a target of unfair treatment at multiple times, and second, the organization is not taking care of its fighters financially. At Dana White, fuck you. Hashtag MMA comeback. This dude's fucking crazy, bro. This is hilarious, and he started getting hella heat for this because, bro, people don't want to hear this shit from you. Come the fuck on, bro. Anybody else, you know when you want to hear this? You want to hear this when you got like a #2 ranked fighter or an interim champion that's not fighting, because like, why the fuck would I fight, bro? I'm not going to get a title shot if I win this fight anyway. You know, a #2 or a #3 ranked contender. Like, I don't want to fight the #1 contender because I'm not getting a title shot regardless. Like in these tied up divisions where Conor McGregor and Tony Ferguson are the champs and the lightweights are waiting on everybody. So you got guys that are like, why would I take a fight? It's not going to put me any closer to the title. That's when you want to hear this, not when you're fucking 6-4 professionally, not just in the UFC. If you were 6-4 in the UFC, that'd be a different story. That's decent. But when you're 6-4 overall, bro, when you're 2 fights away from being 50% record, nobody wants to hear this because you just sound salty. Even if you do have a point, if you are a fighter and you feel like the UFC isn't going to push you and you feel like you're going to have to take the hard road, it might undermotivate you a little. It might, you know, take a little bit of your edge away compared to if you're like, yo, if I win this fight, I'm getting the title shot. Or if I win this fight, you know, I'm about to, boom, go off. You know, the UFC's pushing me. All I got to do is get this win. You might be extra motivated. So, yeah, I see what you're saying there. But when you're saying that shit right after you got cut, you just sound a little salty. He continued to rant to all the fans that were telling me sounded salty. And, you know, they asked him, like, what'd you expect to get rich? And as I said, man, this is another reason why this is the wrong person. He's 6-4 overall, so he's kind of new to MMA. And then he did say he kind of looked at the UFC as the NFL or the NBA, which is a pretty far off, you know, comparison. And even then, if you listen to his next tweet, which I'm about to read, it got even more a little controversial to me. It's like, what are you talking about? But this is what he had to say in his next tweet. If you couldn't tell, I did not want to fight that night. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't even his next tweet. Let me go to the fucking website right here. Boom. This was his next tweet. Somebody asked him, like, what, did you expect to get rich joining the UFC? And he was like, rich maybe. Super well off to be able to at least put a down payment on a house? Yes. People betting on my fights or UFC fights in general made more money than me. That's pretty pathetic. Many other reasons caused my decrease in motivation to overall perform too. Bro, this sounds like excuse. You know, that sounds like an excuse. Like, what are you talking about? The people betting on your fights make more money than you. If these guys are huge fans of the sports, like, and the person I go to is Fury's Fight Picks. I don't know if y'all know who that is. It's a dude that like has like an MMA podcast. He's super successful on MMA betting. Somebody that is a professional gambler or somebody that just came into betting with more money than you. No shit, they're making more money than you. That's what they do. If somebody comes in that's a billionaire and they bet $5 million on your fight and they win $5 million, yeah, they make more money than you. But if I bet $50 fucking on your fight and I win $50, what are you talking about? I'm not making more money than you. If you're talking about Fury's Fight Picks, who's a professional gambler, that's his profession. Of course, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what homie's talking about. I didn't like that, but it is what it is. I'm not going to go too far in this motherfucker's rant. He's just disgruntled. The funniest part to me, he's like, fuck you. He didn't even say nobody was cool, though. His fellow fighters. My fellow fighters are cool. Fuck you. I'm out. But the rest of his, this is on MMAmania.com. He said, last fight he didn't want to fight. The one punch he threw almost took out the guy's eye, but he wasn't happy fighting for the UFC. It reflected in his performance. So essentially, he's saying he lost. Most of the reason, and now I got his UFC record pulled up just for y'all. Check him out. Motherfucking not by might nor power, but by my God's spirit. Check me out. Hear me out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So he's 1-4 in the UFC. Now let's say your last 2 performances you were undermotivated. Even before these 2 losses right here, you were 1-2 in the UFC. So, did you get undermotivated? Like, you see what I'm, bro? The UFC's barely keeping Angela Magana around with this record. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. What do you want? You want them to keep rocking with you? Like, I just don't understand this here. That's why I said this is coming from the wrong person, bro. If you look at anybody's record like this, you're probably thinking that guy's going to Bellator next. You know what I'm saying? Or if Bellator wants you coming out like this, talking, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I've said enough on this video, man. There's more news to get to. Let the full-time family know what you think about this in the comments, man. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.